Okay, watch this video next because it's called, Invest Next Door. And here's the thing about it. Okay, now we know banks are, the biggest, most profitable companies in our country now. They're so big. The people run banks are getting more money, it seems, than ever before. And then they're causing all these problems too, right? Foreclosures and all this kind of stuff. Well, now comes the internet. Okay, the internet is coming along now and says, hey, like this woman, you're going to watch it in this website. Hey, we don't need these big guys in New York to lend money to somebody in Omaha, Nebraska who wants to start a little coffee shop or a small business of some kind, and then some fat cat in New York has has the paper and says, hey, you're not paying, you're out of business. No, going to do it locally, all local, individuals, and no middlemen. So like on a $10,000 loan, she'll say, God, you could save like $1,500. So the interest rate is lower. You as the person needing the money, set the interest rate. Hey, I only can afford 5%, and it's going to take me 20 years to pay it off. You say that. The bank doesn't tell you. You say what you need. And see, people with money, particularly in your area, say, hey, I think that's a good idea. I'm going to lend them money. No. And so it's all online, it's very cheap, and it's a lot cheaper than the banks, and also more forgiving than the bank. I mean, it's just, why do we have foreclosure? I mean, just think if you own the note on your neighbor's bank, your neighbor's house, and your neighbor couldn't pay for a month or two or something like that. You're not going to foreclose, right? Because you could see the personal problem in that thing. If the person owes the note is 1,000 miles away, they don't care. They just want their bloody money, right? So that's the problem with our capitalism. There's limits to this thing, and it misses some of the personal satisfaction we get out of being a community. Capitalism sort of puts everybody at arm's length, and that's how we judge each other. And then we think that if we buy more stuff, we're more happy, or for some reason, especially on Black Friday or whatever that was. But it really doesn't work that way in real life, does it? There's so many other things. So if you're in the community lending small businesses money, you're getting a heck of a lot better return on your money than if you gave it to the bank, because the bank's taking the chunk in the middle. They're making the business pay a lot more, they're taking a lot more, and you as the investor is taking a lot less. So now if you get rid of the middleman, the bank, the entrepreneur pays a lot less. You putting up the money for a loan, get a lot more. Some more things happen. And also now you have the satisfaction of knowing, hey, I started that garage over there. I'm an owner. I go over and say hello to this guy. Or let's go to that restaurant over there that I have some ownership in. Could I lend this guy money and things like it becomes, a more rewarding life because you're in touch with all your community now. And you're able to help your community instead of putting in some investment advisor, right? Who puts it in some big fund you don't even know how to spell, right? And some guy in New York on Wall Street is making all the money, and you got all the worries. And so these are the kinds of things that are happening in our society now. And anywhere you see, when people in the old industries making a lot of money, man, smart young people are going to find new ways to get some of that and make it more profitable for all of us. So watch this. Well, Lisa Omen, right? Not too hard. I had somebody from Sweden a little while ago, and I killed that name. But the names don't matter because we want to know about investnextdoor.com. That's what you guys started just a couple months ago, and now you're getting money in loans, really, for an active small businesses who need money, and they can't get it at the bank, or banks charging too much money, and stuff like that. That you provide this platform where it almost costs almost nothing to figure out how to do it yourself, and you get neighbors to invest in your business, don't you? So you're really keeping everything local, like bringing our communities together, bringing entrepreneurs with, actually not only people are investing sort of like lending them money as in their company, but it's really educating people about their company too, don't they? So Absolutely. This is a way to grow your company, not only with loan money, but with information almost about what you're doing in the community. Yeah. Why are you helping so many people like this? It really seems like straight from your heart that you want to help these struggling businesses, huh?
Well, I spent many years as a consultant for cities in the United States, rolling out software for community engagement and community programs. And then subsequently after that, I worked in mergers and acquisitions with small businesses. And I realized that my passion was really working with small business owners and trying to help rebuild main streets and, just really tying these communities together and helping the grow stronger local economic.
Well, I mean, to me, it makes so much sense. Not only that you eliminate, a small business going to the bank, and the bank's headquartered in New York, and some guy's making the decision in New York about somewhere in the middle of Iowa. What the hell did they know about that? They don't know anything about it. And that's crazy. So you're bringing it right to that. Or the other thing is like getting a government grant or loan or something like that for some bureaucrat in Washington who doesn't really know the business. And see, what's funny to me is that we're paying money in taxes to give to Washington for a government loan that goes back to your town that somebody else makes the decision. So you're cutting out all that middleman, right?
Yeah.
And I make money too with the loan. That's terrific. Wow, why didn't someone think of this before?
Well, it was new regulations at the end of last year, actually, that helped, open the door for crowd lending. So that, as you said, the benefits are that the small business gets potentially lower interest rates, and they get to build their community connections, and that the investors get to make solid returns, as well as, investing back in their community. So those two pieces are win-win.
So we were talking earlier, like it could be like if you borrow $100,000 from the bank, I mean, you're going to pay a couple $1,000s in fees, right? Just private, whatever for the fat cats up in the big rooms, and then they charge you, whether it's 7, 10, 12% or 15 or whatever, and depending on who you are, you could save maybe $15,000 just an interest rate alone by going into your site, right?
Yeah, so they can set their interest rates, and then the investors get to create offers on them. So it's a real equal playing field as far as...
So really, the small business is in control. They say, hey, this is, they go to the bank, and the bank tells them no, but they get a sense of maybe what the market is, right? Yep. So they come on your site, and they say, okay, I need a 50 grand, but I'm only going to give 5%, and how I'm going to give it, and things like this, and you handle all the paperwork. I mean, so when you're paying back monthly after a year or whatever it is, that it's your system that pays all this back, right?
Yeah. The payment, we have a payment processor that handles
So I don't have to worry about that as a small business. I'm writing 1,500 checks to everybody every month or something like that. And as an investor, I'm getting that cash flow back faster than if I did it any other way. Plus a hell of a lot more interest I'm making than if I'm taking it down to the bank and making 0.5% or whatever the hell they're giving me now, which is nonsense, God, so you're making everybody win in the system. I mean, is it just the technology that makes it happen, or what else?
It's a lot of education, just awareness. People are obviously now really excited about crowdfunding, which is fantastic for starting a new product or project. And there's some interest about equity, where you're giving up portions of your company in exchange for larger investment. But I'm not sure the awareness yet is out there that there's lending.
The
opportunity to do crowd lending. And where the investors get their monthly returns and the businesses get their reasonable rates.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like hedge funds are starting to look at this now too. I mean, so you're in a hot new industry. I mean, everybody, when the big money starts looking, that something's going on here. And you're in the ground floor, but more so, I think, a company like yours, or just talking to you as a short time, I see your heart is really there for that small entrepreneur, their small business, right? On Main Street, we have all these businesses that mean so much to the community, and the average person living in the community doesn't know their needs, but now this is a way to show, and you want to support someone this locally, right? And then feel like a big shot because you help that business grow, and the whole community grows, and everything like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the impact investing of being able to walk down Main Street and knowing that you
Yeah.
helped those businesses.
Yeah.
And
Hey, that guy's mine. You know, that guy's mine. And let's go for coffee at this guy. I know him well. You know, yeah, you act like a big shot, even though you only gave me each $100 or whatever as a loan. Yeah. So are there? And really, the fee, once you get everything, the biggest fee is like $500. That you charge. You're not charging. So if you raise $1 million, you're not getting 6% like a normal crowdfunding site. You know, you're just getting $500 and that's it. So that's why your fees are so financial servicey. Everybody wants percentages because then on the big deals they make gazillions for doing nothing. You know, but it seems like you guys are very fair in how you're structuring this, you know, to pay your way, because if you're not there, nothing happens. So we got to keep you there, and you got